Mercedes Villalba, to be followed by Maggie Chapman. Ms Villalba.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer, and I'd like to put on record my thanks to Patrick Harvey for bringing forward the motion for debate this evening so that we can have this time in the Chamber. I'd like to use my time this evening to raise a constituency case with the Minister. I've already raised it with her in the past, but I think it's important to get the details on the record because they really highlight a lot of the issues and concerns that Patrick Harvey raised in his opening speech. My constituent contacted me in the summer of 2022. She'd already been referred 2 years previously, in November 2020, to the Adult Gender Service by her GP, and she got in touch saying that she was in considerable distress. She'd had to wait 2 years and accrued significant personal cost of pursuing a private alternative. She said to me that, quote, "I found it necessary to go down the private healthcare route as the NHS waiting times are 3 years minimum and more likely 5 years. I thought the only way I'm ever going to get any of my life is to take things into my own hands." So she decided to go private, as I've said, but still to try and pursue through the NHS, as is all of our rights, to have healthcare free at the point of need. But she said, quote, again, "Any time I try to contact them, I get the same reply, which is that I'm on the waiting list and will be contacted when I reach the top. But the list seems to get ever increasingly longer." Now, I was shocked to hear that it had already been 2 years without any indication of when she would reach the top of the waiting list. So I raised this with NHS Tayside, and I was told that the provision of gender identity services was being reviewed by the Public Health Directorate of the Scottish Government with the aims of improving waiting times, improving support available to those who were on waiting lists, and also to deliver new models of gender identity healthcare. And then following this, finally, late 2022, my constituent finally received first assessment, and she was then placed on the medical review waiting list at the Glasgow Adult Gender Service. Now, fast forward to this summer, 2025, so 5 years since she was initially referred, and my constituent was still no further forward on the waiting list. And remembering what she said to me, that she was thinking 3 years minimum, more likely 5 years, well, it's already been 5 years and there's still no end in sight. So I raised it once again. I contacted the Sandyford referenced in Patrick Harvey's motion, and they unfortunately couldn't provide an approximate date. They conceded that they couldn't comply with the 18-week referral of treatment guidance. They also outlined that the gender identity services have been under considerable operational pressure since 2014, so it's not a new issue, but that it has also experienced unprecedented demand, which has outstripped its ability to provide appointments in a timely manner. So I escalated this case to the Minister. She may remember, but I appreciate she has a lot of cases across her desk. And while she did confirm that the Scottish Government's ongoing commitment to improving the access to and the delivery of NHS gender identity services, this doesn't actually help my constituent who has been waiting now for over 5 years. So clearly something in the system isn't working, and as Patrick Harvey referenced in his opening speech, it's not just this issue. Hundreds of thousands of Scots are stuck on waiting lists on this government's watch. And it is possible to bring waiting lists down, but we need the government to get a grip. So I would ask the Minister in her closing remarks if she could let me know what hope she can offer to my constituent that she won't be waiting, as referenced in the motion, 80 years for an appointment, and if she could update me on what progress has been made on developing the support available for those waiting, in particular any local support within people's home health boards, not having to travel out with, and will she actually acknowledge that the scale of the problem warrants urgent action from the government. And I'll just end with the final quote from my constituent. "Perhaps nothing will come of it, but at least they will know we're not sitting quiet any longer." Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Villalba.